Personally, it's one of my favorites. It's a very fun game. It's, as I said, classic. Every day after school, that sort of thing. Seeing as we're past 2025 now, welcome back. We're playing Black Ops 2 online. Welcome back. We're playing Black Ops 2 online. It's personally one of my. Oh, just give it a second. Personally, it's one of my favorites. It's a very fun game. It's, as I said, classic. Every day after school, that sort of thing. Seeing as we're past 2025 now, the future, it holds quite a concept for our knowledge in regards to these what we saw at the time as future sci-fi video games. Like right now, I'm actually like basically a cyborg. I am a cyborg. I mean, if you use the definition of the word. I have glasses that I'm using to play the game that I use to read and do most of my electronic work and whatnot. So looking back, I used to think to myself, oh man, we're never gonna have glasses like that. We're never gonna have all this fancy stuff. Now we're here. We have futuristic glasses that plug into our phones. We have prosthetic limbs. We have life-saving equipment that we didn't have before. I guess the best thing we can do is move forward with those ideas and hold on to them. It's like a big old game of football out there. You just kind of have to take the good with the bad and go for the good stuff. In regards, it's you got to know that everybody's safe, everybody's having a good time. This game really kind of showed me that. It shows a flashback of Alex Mason's old life when he was in the Vietnam War and in Africa. And nonetheless, it's about how you can get better. One of the levels is called Psychiatric Victory, where they find Frank Woods in a storage container, and he's like all messed up and whatnot. That could really mess up a human being. In a couple of the games and a saying from Vietnam, the jungle can do weird things to people. It's when you think you're in danger, and there's too much pressure, like a thermostat. See, when you think you're in danger, and it keeps going, if you get through the roof thermostat-wise, you might make a mistake. If you're too calm, you might make a mistake. That's why they say the jungle does weird things to people. Life is like that. As I said, the future, it holds many mysteries for us. But as we progress, we make better decisions. Right now, I'm listening to Arcspire. Their new song, Limb of Leviticus, absolutely wonderful. In high school, a kid I knew named Clayton, he used to play bass for them. And he's a very talented man. They're very talented boys. They're from Vancouver, where I was born. One of the best bands out there. What else? Yeah, this game brings me back to the good old days, where I'd get home from school, done Japanese class, studying and learning and whatnot. And I'd get home, I'd pop this into my Xbox 360, and I'd go ham. And I'd feel wonderful. On the weekends, we'd go out to places like Revelstoke and Vernon, and, like farmers markets and stuff. There's this nice farmers market, probably mentioned it before, it was near, like, Vernon. And they had goats. It was, cool. It was a really cool place. Best place to grow up, Salmon Arm. It's just a lot of shenanigans and a lot of good times. One of the least violent places I've ever been. In regards to demeanor, they're all very educated people. Even the people who are like kind of ghetto or like kind of hood, which is they have a good sense of style and they're still very educated people. Uh, in regards to, I guess, the environment, they have a lot of wharfs and other pleasant things, like the restaurants. The restaurants are really good. The even the gas stations, everything's pretty nice. They have these grocery stores called Askews, and they're probably like the best grocery store. It was more of a stay at home. Once in a while, go out, hang out with my friends, sort of thing. But as I said, quiet anime kid. I learned Japanese, math class, etc., etc. What else? I'm just gonna keep babbling, I guess. I might upload this one to my YouTube, this stream. It's going pretty decent here. Yeah, this map is on the new Black Ops 7, which I've been gaming out to lately. It's pretty good. The storyline is a little lackluster. It's not perhaps I wasn't paying enough attention while listening to the storyline, but yeah, the storyline of this one is really good. As a kid growing up, I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. I was training to be an RCMP officer. I was training for the military. Kind of an all American, big big American muscles. Those times growing up when I was unsure of my own safety or unsure of my own well-being were things outside of my control, outside of the control of the people around me. They were like the war in Afghanistan and all the fighting in Ukraine and Russia. It was very stressful, and I realized that they just kind of had to work those things out. Even if we're nervous, I mean, part of the military is when you equalize a situation. You take it from here to here, and you make everyone understand each other. You make everyone get along. Some days it works better than others, but by the end of it, you want everyone there. Like the Bible talks to us about heaven and whatnot. You want everybody there in a good place. The most important thing is, I guess, when people understand that there's differences in regards to, I guess, their social backgrounds and behaviors. The best thing for a tough situation is to get the tough material out first. I have brain damage. I have to work through it. I just kind of make things into the best they can be. Anyways, the most important thing is when you're trying to, I guess, make the best of your life, realize you will always have enemies. Bullies. That's the worst. Anyway, recalling old memories of playing Black Ops. Playing this game, the Ballista, it was the first game with the iron sights for your sniper rifles. Greatest time. Some great times. One of the greatest times of my life. Used to be really good at knives and quick scopes. One of my old friends from high school, his name's Dylan. He's a really good quick scoper and 360 no scopes and whatnot. Playing this one in high school, I really wish I had reached out to him and we would have had some really good times playing it. But, you know, whenever my friends came over from Salmon Arm Secondary and we hung out, it was a really great time. You gotta look back on the people that made a good time for you. Every time I think back to Salmon Arm, I don't usually get very angry. There's not a lot of people that, I guess, you know, stroked me the wrong way. It was just a lot of good times. Uh, what else? I guess it's when you have enemies. When you know you have enemies, because you moved away from the comfort spot, the comfort zone, or your comfort zone, you know, and then you have something that's more complicated. I come from World War II heritage. Can you imagine somebody blaming you for something that was out of your control? Something that's not your problem? They just bring you into it and make it your problem. So you know what ours is? As the regular human being? You look the other direction, and you watch them go off on each other. Because the enemy will always make enemies. And the best part is when you know that the liability cleans itself up. Because even if there is, like, those odd backstabber sort of people, they'll rip each other's guts out. And you would have to be the person handing out the health kit. As I said, take it from here to here.
Team deathmatch. Stay focused. Stay alive. We've taken the advantage.
Yeah, me and my sibling, we weren't exactly friends growing up. My other sibling took the same route as me. We both ended up. I had a temporary service number. I didn't end up fully applying, but I'm still applicable. Like as I said, World War II heritage. I just end up in there. I wanted to go to cadets as a kid. Parents didn't really get around to it. We're pretty busy. I played football. My sibling did cadet stuff, and it was pretty cool. Pretty cool growing up. Always looked up to him. Always respected him. My other sibling, I don't know what their issue is. They're pretty ass backwards in regards to a human being and the way they act. Um, what else? They brought a lot of bad energy to the house that we grew up in. Something about how they just couldn't, I don't know, figure themselves out, and then they went out there with it. I'm wishing the best for them. I hope that they're doing good. Sometimes it's just because they have darker skin than I do. I come from the same family. I have white skin, but probably some issue with them. I don't know what their issue was. Not both of them. What other good times? I guess it was something about surviving after I moved out from Seminar. Uh, Grew up with conservatives being the main power. I was really liberal at heart until I realized that there was a lot of corruption with those people. They tend to do things and hide it, and they tend to backstab people in very dark manners. As a World War II heritage family, I felt disturbed by some of the actions that the Liberal Party takes on people like myself. I've been through quite a bad situation in regards to some of the public treatment that I've gone through. Um, what else? I guess I was a hacker growing up. I still kind of do shenanigans here and there, but there's always like something evil out there, something evil that's just prying at you. Uh, I guess like any other form of warfare, you should get to the bottom of it and clarify exactly what was going on. The best thing when you do clarify those situations is when you see what they were fighting against and what they're fighting for. Like this guy right here talking to me online, bully. He just said something very rude to me. You know what I do with that? I ignore it. The best part is when somebody says it behind your back, because they create, and I quote, "That's how every war was started, with somebody saying something behind somebody's back nasty to somebody else." Same way that I guess what's his schnatz from this game, Farid or whatever, and the most of the protagonists they talk very very bad garbage about each other, or antagonists talk bad garbage about people to the other ones, and then covert action in between. That's how life is. I was going to be a judge, actually. That was one of my other goals, along the lines of a lot of things I wanted to be growing up: surgeon, judge, officer, military officer for the air cadets. Um, every time something held me up in a bad manner, I was capable of taking it down, I guess, without causing a problem. I'm not a violent guy. I'm a pacifist. I learned light Aikido. I learned Sistema, Krav Maga, Judo. So when somebody comes at me in an aggressive manner, I try to take that energy and show them what it is. Like, oh, well, you're this and that, or like this guy was saying to me, he said something like, we'll say he called me a bad nibba. And I was just like, no, that's you. You said that to me, but you're not that thing. That's you saying that. That's what I'm trying to clarify. Muchas gracias, señor.
Hostile UAV above.
Yeah, you have to think from a World War II family's perspective. Anything that comes after you comes back after itself. We don't use it as a pretentious statement. We use it as a protective statement. You know, I'm here for you. I'm here to make sure that you're safe. You know, if your information gets mixed up with something bad on the internet, something bad in the universe, we have the capability to refresh or recycle that. Those people didn't die in tanks and from mortar shells, or you know, in internment camps for no reason. Their heritage lives on, and in some way, moving past the violence and the destruction purifies the earth. And don't forget, when something's trying to get you, fight through it. The best road is straight ahead. I like the Vector machine gun, Swiss made. Place I'm at right now has a lot of bullies. One of my friends, he works for bully hunters. You know, God bless him. Pretty normal guy. Um, I guess with bullies, the best thing to do is to put it right in front of them. And I feel sorry for those people that have hallucination issues, you know, real mental health issues, where they say they see things and whatnot. I don't know whether it's the devil or whatever it is, but some that I just tell them to go to church about it. The same as bullies. Most mental health from bullying, most mental health issues from bullying, you take to, and I quote, church. You just go to church about it, and it usually does that. Whenever there's something evil that wants something evil with you, it's usually met with as the Crusaders, you know, like some vindication in regards to behaviors, some divinity that points out their issues, something that points it right back to them. And the best part is when somebody thinks they can get to you, but they're too chicken to actually say it to your face. You get to laugh at them because they can whisper in your ear all they want. They don't say it to your face. You know, it's somebody else. Yeah, us anime kids. It doesn't really matter if you have enemies or bullies. You just kind of it always gets back. It always gets them back. There's always something that they can lose for treating you that way. It's kind of interesting. You try to get it back for them. You try to give them a normal life. God bless America is the biggest one. I mean, that usually points it out. You know, they have to admit some certain degree or angle of knowledge involving theirs. Every time you start up a car or that good old Ford, you realize there's some energy in there, something that keeps people going, even when they have nothing left. Anyways, let's go back to Black Ops 7 and see what it do. Oh man, I'm so sore. Now I keep asking myself, if we could read each other's thoughts, what's the most evil thing that the bullies could do? I guess you'd have to have a real what's the word? Gauge on mental strength for that. Gosh darn it. Nice. That was a pretty good quick scope there, yeah. Kind of hard scope because that was pretty ridiculous. New Hawker sniper rifle, Hawker HX, pretty decent. Looks like an anti-material rifle or something. Gosh darn it! Dang it, poo-poo. Gonna 360, see if we can get this guy. Hiya! Got at least one of them. What the doodle do? Had him, he was like right in the sights. Got him. Oh my goodness. Just working at it with my ratchet, like... Yep. In this family, we're also iron workers. So, you know, anything bad is... We're basically, gosh darn, invincible. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you get up, you go to work, and you do your thing. That sort of thing. Best part about harassing people is when they harass you. I don't harass people, but when somebody harasses you and creates an issue, I can just sit there with a hard hat on and go, but wasn't that you? Yeah, there's not much that bothers iron workers. We just kind of blow through just about anything. I don't know. I think it's something about how you have to turn the generator on, and then it you have to actually do something. Yeah, it's quite a mind over matter job site. You're just sitting there staring at stuff, going, oh, I guess I got to put it together, huh? And there's always somebody that thinks they're smarter than you. Yeah, I always picture like, what if the rich people tried to attack the iron workers? They'd be pretty fucked. You'd get through like one person. You'd sit there and you'd give them trouble, and then a whole bunch of them would start explaining what was going on. They'd probably say something like, "Don't forget your hard hat," and the guy would just be like, "What?" Before somebody runs up and like gives them the what for from a different community or a different department. Welcome back. To anybody of you. Yeah, I always picture like, what if the rich people tried to attack the iron workers? They'd be pretty fucked. You'd get through like one person. You'd sit there and you'd give them trouble, and then a whole bunch of them would start explaining what was going on. They'd probably say something like, "Don't forget your hard hat," and the guy would just be like, "What?" Before somebody runs up and like gives them the what for from a different community or a different department. As you can see from these fine fellows I've been quickscoping, You know, they didn't bring their hard hats, 360s and whatnot. I used to have a really nice hard hat. It's a red one with like some decals on it. Very street sort of old writing on it. Fancy stuff. Didn't put any stickers on it or anything. Just some cool writing. Now my favorite color was red. I always used to wear red to my job sites. My birth colors. Good times. Now, I guess the joke was, in case anybody fucking, if everybody, they, anybody, of, if anybody slipperinos or like, you know, they drop a wrench and they hurt their finger or something stupid, you would just kind of, I guess, I'd be like, hi, here I am with the health kit, big red health kit, here you go. Ain't nothing but a good time on a job site. Yeah, I don't do much cussing anymore. Something about how it's against Twitch standards. You know, I replaced most of I get pretty creative when I'm cussing, but I replaced most of my diction in regards to cuss words with some pretty cute things. Oh yeah, and then you gotta watch for everybody's safety on a job site. Don't want anything funky. Ooh. Oh, I thought I was gonna get no scope. Whole bunch of them running around. Still managed to get him. Oh yeah. Hard scope, but whatever. Huh. Huh. These dang flying machines. Now, on a job site, you gotta keep everyone safe.